Wow! Look at the calendar. It's February 14th. All around you, you might see bright red hearts. You might see pink flowers and boxes of yummy chocolate. People are giving cards to their friends and family. They say, Happy Valentine's Day. It is a day filled with love and friendship. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? Why is this one day in the middle of a cold month so full of warmth and fun? It feels like a little bit of magic, doesn't it? The story behind this special day is like a secret adventure waiting to be discovered. It's a tale that travels back in time, long, long ago. This day wasn't always about candy and cards. Its real story is a puzzle with many pieces. To solve it, we have to travel back in time. We need to go back hundreds and hundreds of years to a place called ancient Rome. The world was very different then. There were emperors and soldiers and big stone buildings. The people back then had their own special holidays in the middle of February. These festivals were a bit wild and noisy. They were celebrating the start of springtime. They hoped for a good year with lots of sunshine and healthy crops. It was a time of new beginnings, a lot like the new friendships we celebrate today. So how did a Roman festival turn into our Valentine's Day? It's a bit of a mystery. Many people believe the holiday was named after a kind and brave man. His name was Valentine. Actually, there might have been more than one person named Valentine. History is tricky like that. These men were known for being very good and helpful. They lived at a time when it was sometimes dangerous to be kind. But they chose to help people anyway. Their stories were told again and again, passed down from parents to children through the years, like a favorite bedtime story that you never forget. As time went on, the stories of the brave Saint Valentine mixed with the old spring festivals. It was like mixing two different colors of paint to create a brand new one. People started connecting the middle of February with love and kindness. Poets began to write beautiful poems about love on this day. They wrote about birds choosing their mates for the year. People started to believe that February 14th was the most romantic day of all. The idea grew and grew, spreading across countries and oceans, until it became the sweet holiday we all know and love today. Let's solve the biggest piece of the puzzle. Who was Saint Valentine? The most famous story is about a priest named Valentine who lived in Rome. The emperor at the time was a man named Claudius II. He was a very strict ruler. Emperor Claudius made a rule that young soldiers were not allowed to get married. He believed that single men made better, stronger soldiers for his army. He thought that if they had wives and families at home, they would be too worried to fight well in his wars. This made many young couples very, very sad. Imagine being told you couldn't marry the person you loved. But Valentine was a very kind man. He believed that love was important. He thought the emperor's rule was unfair. So he decided to do something about it, even though it was dangerous. In secret, under the quiet moonlight, he would help young couples get married. He would perform secret wedding ceremonies so they could be together. He was like a superhero for love. He whispered the special words and helped them start their new lives. He knew he could get in big trouble, but he did it anyway because he believed in helping people find happiness. He was keeping love alive when the emperor tried to stop it. Of course, secrets like that are hard to keep for long. Eventually, the Emperor Claudius found out what Valentine was doing. He was very angry. He ordered his guards to capture Valentine and throw him into a dark, cold jail. It must have been very scary for Valentine. While he was in jail, many people came to visit him. They would pass him notes and flowers through the bars of his window. They wanted to thank him for being so brave and for believing in love. They wanted him to know that he was not forgotten and that his kindness had meant so much to them. The story has a sad but very important ending. Before Valentine was executed, he wrote one last letter. It was for the jailer's daughter, a young woman he had become friends with. He wanted to say goodbye. It is said that at the end of the letter, he signed it with the words, "From your Valentine." This might be the very first Valentine's card ever. His final message was one of friendship and care. And so, the tradition of signing cards and sending messages of love on this day began, all because of one brave man's final kind note from long, long ago. Did you know that Valentine's Day is celebrated in different ways all over the world? It's not just about hearts and chocolates everywhere. In Japan, the tradition is a little bit different. On February 14th, it's the girls who give chocolates to the boys. They give two kinds of chocolates. One is called girichoko, which means obligation chocolate. They give this kind to their friends, bosses, and male classmates. The other kind is honmei choco, or true love chocolate. This special chocolate is often homemade and is given only to someone they have a crush on. It's a very sweet and thoughtful tradition. But wait, the story in Japan doesn't end there. The boys don't get off that easy. They have to return the favor 1 month later. On March 14th, Japan celebrates a day called White Day. On this day, the boys who receive chocolate on Valentine's Day are supposed to give a gift back to the girls. The gift should be white, like white chocolate, marshmallows, or other presents. And the rule is that the return gift should be 2 or 3 times more valuable than the one they received. It's a fun way to say thank you and show that they care too. Now, let's travel to another country, Denmark. In Denmark, they have a lovely and funny tradition. Instead of sending regular Valentine's cards, people send funny poems or rhyming love notes called gækkebrev. These notes are very special. The person who sends it doesn't sign their name. Instead, they sign it with a pattern of dots. Each dot stands for one letter of their name. The person who receives the card has to guess who sent it. It's a fun game of mystery. It makes receiving a Valentine's note even more exciting. What happens if you guess correctly in Denmark? You get a prize. If the girl who receives the gækkebrev can guess who her secret admirer is, he has to give her a chocolate Easter egg when Easter comes around a few months later. It's a sweet reward for being a good detective. In other places like South Korea, they celebrate love on the 14th of every single month. There is Rose Day in May, Kiss Day in June, and even a Black Day in April for single friends to get together and eat black noodles. Isn't it amazing how one idea can be celebrated in so many unique and creative ways? February 14th is famous for Valentine's Day, but other amazing things have happened on this date in history too. It's like the day has its own secret diary full of incredible events. For example, on February 14th, 1876, a very important invention was patented. 2 different inventors, Alexander Graham Bell and Elisha Gray, both rushed to the patent office on the very same day. They both had an idea for a machine that could send a human voice through a wire. This invention, of course, was the telephone. Can you imagine a world without phones? It all started with a race on this historic day. This date is also important for exploring our world and beyond. On February 14, 1990, a spacecraft called Voyager 1 was very, very far away from home. It was flying past all the planets in our solar system. A famous scientist named Carl Sagan had an idea. He asked NASA to turn the spacecraft's camera around and take one last picture of Earth. From so far away, our whole planet looked like a tiny pale blue dot floating in the vast darkness of space. That picture reminds us that our world is special and we should take care of it and everyone on it. The day has also been important for states and countries. On February 14, 1912, Arizona officially became the 48th state in the United States of America. It's known as the Valentine State because it joined the country on this loving day. So, while many people are celebrating with cards, the people of Arizona are celebrating their state's birthday. It goes to show that any date on the calendar can hold more than one special meaning. It just depends on where you are and what part of history you are looking at. Every single day has its own collection of stories. Isn't it fun to be a detective of history? We discovered that Valentine's Day is more than just candy hearts. It's a story of brave priests, ancient festivals, secret messages, and fun traditions from all over the world. And we found out that February 14th is also about amazing inventions and incredible journeys into space. What about tomorrow? Or your birthday? Or any other day you pick from the calendar? Every single day has its own secret history, filled with adventures and surprises just waiting for you to find them. All you have to do is ask, "I wonder what happened on this day," and start exploring.